fingers. Yo, ears with get back, watch it turn to a singer. Get the fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zit the back that like a popo. Don't do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And some room to maneuver. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. To throw, Kelly. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now, they've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a 3rd and goal. Here's Barkley. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Brandon, I know what I would do in this situation. You're on the road. It's the opening drive. You've gotten all the way down here. I would go for it.
And his kick here is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
Watch him now, Barney! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got the artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throw left side complete. It's Shepard. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. This is Harris. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now Jackson on second down. Forced out to his left. And now a fumble. The ball's out. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
This is Harris. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gross. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And the Giants ready to come out now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On second down, here's Barkley. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Lucky 56.
Kelly now to throw on 3rd down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Jurrell Casey coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And the Giants send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position, 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Lucky 56.
Now Kelly. Man open, Rice. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. The All-Pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Here's Kelly on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. This is fielded at the 7. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a toss play. It's Harris. Bulldozes past him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. They run with Harris. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. Space to run past the 20. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. To throw is Jackson. Floating one, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Flush to his right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. And another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Detroit!
From the gun, Kelly. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his.
Under pressure now, and they get to Kelly. Sheldon Richardson able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5.
Detroit!
On third down, Kelly. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And out now come the Vikings. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson being chased out left. Finding some room at midfield. And all the way down to the 41-yard line. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They run with Harris. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Gone!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
All right, now, lucky 56.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for.
No.
They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Harris. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Here we go now. Blue landed.
On third down, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On first down, it's Kelly. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a first down throw. Kelly. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunky yardage picked up there.
A handoff to Barkley. They find some open field here. Muscles by at the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On second down, Kelly. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Giants on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Kelly. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Kelly, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Here's Harris, and he'll take this one up to about the 13. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Jackson now, looking to throw on second down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Shepard. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Vikings on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on second. Here's Kelly to Barkley on the check down. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And just like that, it's third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Here we go now. 3.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, You've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without it.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Antonio Callaway, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Set! 319! 319!
They begin with a run by Barkley. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Gone! 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 Gone!
To throw is Kelly. To throw on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And that is incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you worked on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go now.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
No, check. Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Again, it's Barkley. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Kelly. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Gone!
Now Kelly, following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. That is incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Detroit!
Out of the gun, it's Kelly. He's going to fire one deep over the... That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Here we go now.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. He's going to get it running right. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Barkley. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And 3 yards on the carry there as his defense holds strong and takes it to 4th and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. And this one is right through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He's back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him, All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
And he's able to find Diggs. Past the 20, 10, and this will get him all the way inside the Giants' 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Now Harris. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
McManus's point after is good, and that will make this a 4-point game. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And New York set to take the field. 1-possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield.
He's got a man complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. If he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. To throw, Kelly. Got his man complete over the middle. It's 4th. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. And that winds up incomplete. And now only 5 ticks on the clock. And likely just one final go at this now. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Extra point right down the middle. And it would appear, barring some late heroics, they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season, once in the regular season, once in the playoffs? So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Giants, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they dropped just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.